as beings who are going to have conversations with serpents and do terrible things. So what is the context here? It is a rogue regime, and it should be called what it is. Someone talked some years back about a bandit economy, but we can talk today about a gangster regime. And when you have a gangster regime, it doesn't matter that people may put on three-piece suits, live in ornate and plush environments in suburbia, Nairobi and in other places, or drive instead of the art cars, or put on watches that are worth 10 million shillings. Nobody spends 10 million earned shillings on a watch. Nobody. It must be stolen resources. Nobody splurges the kinds of resources that you have seen in the papers today on a seat, on a chair for their office. So we are talking about a rogue regime, a kakistocracy. If we should speak like scholars, a kakistocracy, government by the worst elements of society possible. And their focus is not on the welfare of the country or on the welfare of the people. They are on a splurge ego trip mission, thinking that they are leading the good life, what I have called the 10-star good life. But it is a rat race to nowhere. The clergy are saying here that you are pauperizing the country. What needs to be done is to give context to this whole thing so that we understand why it is that when somebody is selling stones to farmers out there and donkey waste blended with those stones and calling it fertilizers, and they are not arrested, I haven't heard of anybody being brought to book. It is because the entire thing is an organic system that is just functioning the way it should be. So that is where we are, and we must ask ourselves whether it's going to be possible to get out of that space or not. You see, a gangster is a gangster. Many times when we talk about gangsters, we think about some bandits in some forest somewhere, in rags, in torn attire, in rough linen. We don't think about people who look like what Amos Tutola would call complete gentlemen, who are in three-piece suits with extra pieces in their pockets, and who furnish lavish living and lifestyles. But those are bandits, they are gangsters. And so we are talking about a gangster government, a gangster regime, and that's why we are where we are. And we must call it what it is by its name. And as I have said, those of us, in whatever way and to whatever extent that may have contributed to the bringing of this bandit regime into power, owe this country an apology.
All right, they owe this country an apology. It's a new moniker from the bandit economy to a gangster.
A kakistocracy.